Hey guys, welcome. So the results are in. Super Mini Tuesday happened
Super
today, or
Tuesday, Super Tuesday too.
Super Tuesday 2 happened today, and the results are in. It's almost like 8 o'clock here in the Western time in California. And let's see some of the reports. So right
Yeah,
now, Idaho just reported, and Washington. Idaho right now is they have Joe Biden in the lead with 42%, Bernie Sanders at 32. Michigan, surprisingly, well, no, not surprisingly, because every freaking poll had Joe Biden winning here at 53%. And then we have Bernie Sanders behind at 37.9. And then we have Mississippi with 90% reporting. Obviously, Joe Biden just destroyed Bernie Sanders here. Bernie Sanders barely made it to 15% to get one delegate. Uh,
one delegate so far.
and we got Missouri, another state that majority vote for Biden with 60% of the vote, 34% for Bernie Sanders. North Dakota, surprisingly, is the only state that went for Bernie Sanders with 10% reporting. They have not announced it for Bernie Sanders yet, but that gap, 39% against Joe Biden with 26%, I don't think it's gonna close it. Maybe you saw what happened at Texas, right? Like out of nowhere, you gain a bunch of freaking votes, and then obviously Washington, which is the closest race right here, both of them at 32.8% with 3,1800 votes. God damn, that's a close race, about 30 votes. It's a very close race. We might see. This is the only state that right now we see like maybe not. Bernie Sanders might take it, but so far, based on the experience that we've seen, just out of the sudden, fucking Biden gets a lot of votes, right? But so far, this is not the night that obviously Bernie Sanders campaign was hoping for. Even me, a lot of people right now are going through their feelings, trying to gather themselves together and see what the fuck. And more likely, more people, a lot of mainstream media is gonna come and say, "Hey, it's Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders is gonna have to drop out soon." So, what do you think, Kenneth? Based on what we see right now?
It's my turn now. Okay. Oh, so yeah, pretty much what's expected. I said Sanders is most likely going to lose the Democratic nomination. Because once the train rolls, it rolls. Uh, yeah, Bob was predicted.
It,
Nothing really surprising.
I mean, based on the polls, yeah, it's pretty predictable. But I
I mean,
mean,
not even really just the polls. It's just that it's like I said. It's like Biden was a vice president. Like that's a huge bonus. Yeah, that's a huge bonus. He was Barack. Like I said, Barack Obama's vice president. Barack Obama's still popular. So he was gonna walk away. Once he got the one victory, it was just gonna start steamrolling. And on top of that, he has the entire establishment on his side.
yeah,
Of course, it's gonna turn out this way.
yeah,
The thing is that it's like I said 100 times. I think you need progressive values, but I don't think Sanders is strong enough. I just don't think as a person he has the conviction to make a hard stance, hard cut of the line. Just like people said, he's going out there. He says, "Oh, Joe is my friend." Like f that, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
through all
yeah.
that. Not even just that. It's just like if you got to talk about how serious this is, if you got to talk about how everyone needs
All right.
everyone needs healthcare, this is bad and Trump is bad and we have to stop it. It's like why aren't you attacking these people then? Like why aren't you treating it that way? You know what I'm saying? You're saying it is, but you're not acting like it is. And it's like it makes no sense. On top of that, it's like I don't know if you read the interview with I forgot his name, but he was the one who endorsed Biden in South Carolina.
Um, George. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, and it's the one who just propelled everything else to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I
When people
forgot.
said,
I forgot his name.
uh,
Um, but I know who you're talking about. Is the first guy who come out and endorsed Joe Biden, and and then once he won South Carolina, and that's where everything came
yeah,
together. Right?
but what I'm trying to say is that he did an interview. He said the Sanders campaign didn't even reach out to him. Clyburn. It was
Yeah.
Clyburn.
Uh-huh.
He was a woman, right? I don't know. Oh, no, yeah, he. So he did an interview. He said Sanders' team didn't even reach out to her, and I'm just like, I think what happened was Sanders' team went too extreme to the opposite. Whereas in 2016, they mistakenly believed that the establishment was going to have a fair race. They didn't.
Yeah.
But then in 2020, they did the opposite, thinking like, oh, we can't trust anybody, so screw 'em. And I think that's what's hurting right now. And then on top of that, he doesn't want to harden the rhetoric. And like, so I'm starting to think like, yeah, Sanders might be Trump, but Trump is going to attack her like there's no tomorrow. And if Sanders
Yeah.
can't go out there and
Yeah,
attack
but
back, then
I,
he's going to keep
I
failing.
also heard that they wanted to go with an attack Biden in several ways. That focus on the lies that he said about Bernie Sanders and the movement, and the things about him going and protesting African and getting arrested, walking with MLK. That thing that never happened. The Bernie Sanders campaign wanted to put out ads that said that proved that he was lying, but Bernie Sanders said no, I'm not gonna go that way.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, though, right? Is this is the one thing that I don't understand about people in general,
Hmm.
but especially politicians. Like the truth isn't a negative. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you tell someone the truth, that's not being negative.
Yeah.
All right. The only reason people see it as a negative is because in real life they know it's a negative act, right? And so if you go out there and I tell you that Joe Biden did some racist things and he supported segregation when it came to busing,
Yeah.
right? That's a fact.
Uh huh.
There's no reason why you should take that fact as negative. There's no reason. There shouldn't be a reason why you get angry at me for sharing that fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the
Only
rally.
reason, yeah, the only reason why you would think it's negative is because you know that's bad. You know him supporting segregated busing, right, is a bad thing. And so you don't want to look at the reality of it and say, okay, he did a bad thing. You just want to say, don't talk about it. And
Yeah.
that's what Bernie Sanders is at, where he's like, no, I don't want to attack him personally. I was like, look, you gotta understand, a friend to your agenda. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I is against it.
Yeah.
And you have to draw the line somewhere where it's gonna be, and I think a lot of young people have done it too. And they're gonna get a lot of shit for it. But 'cause I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for it. Is
Yeah.
that because you have to draw a line and say, hey, are they gonna support my interests or aren't they? If they're not, I'm not voting for them. If
Yeah.
they
It's,
are,
it's
I'm
that
for
easy. Yeah.
I don't care if you know you this guy keeps winning. Like if Trump's winning, it's because he has Republicans who have a certain set of priorities, and those priorities he fits those priorities enough for them to vote for him.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't give me a candidate that fits my priorities, then I'm not gonna vote for him. I don't care. Like I don't care if I don't care at all if it's like, well, we gotta get this guy out of office. What's the point of getting him out of office if my interests aren't going to be served anyway?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
right, my interests aren't going to be served either way. It doesn't matter if he's not,
Yeah.
not
Trump saying defeating Trump is not enough.
right. And so now you can also say that, oh well, Biden would serve your interests better than Trump would,
Yeah,
and
but
that
that's the
may
same argument that people made in 2016.
that's not what I want. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I want specific things, and if you can't give it to me, I'm not going to vote. If you want me to vote, then give me a candidate that meets my interests. Like,
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Just as simple.
Yeah. And we able to see that on the huge
Because
difference of
not that, but there are things that you just can't put on the back burner anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like the time for kicking the can has long since passed. Like perfect example is like climate change. If you're gonna give me someone who's like, oh well, we might do something on climate change versus someone who's like, nah, I don't believe climate change, that's not good enough. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You got 12 years, like allegedly. So we got 12 years, according to scientists. We got 12 years before we start hitting a point where it's gonna be almost irreversible, right? Which means there's no more kick the can. right? There's you can't kick the can anymore. There's no more incrementalism. Well, it's like it's no more. Well, this is good enough. You have to either gonna do it or you're not. It's just that simple, right? Because you don't have the extra time anymore. But this is what happens. Like this is exactly what I was saying in 2016, which is that eventually people are gonna kick the can so far you can't kick the can anymore, and all you can do now is be extreme with it. So when people say, well, it's better than nothing, it's like, well, not anymore. Which a little bit is not good enough anymore. It's you got to do it all, or you're not doing anything. And there you go.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders took the lead in Washington, but it was almost like 0.2%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if well, North Dakota more likely is gonna win it, even though
Yeah.
I don't see that they're even counting votes in North Dakota.
I know, right?
Yeah, they're like, oh, you know what, Bernie Sanders winning there. Don't count the votes until it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. If you go on Google, every state that Bernie Sanders won, none of them finished counting.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, Cali hasn't finished. Colorado hasn't finished for some reason.
Yeah.
Utah hasn't
Yeah.
even finished counting the votes. I was like,
Yeah. Sad. That's weird.
yeah, they just don't want to give him the delegates count. That way, when people will see on Google, oh look, he's losing.
Because California's been at 94% for 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
No, 1 week.
Oh, 1 week. 1 week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, but I understand California. It's 55 million people
If
there.
we go back here, this is the count: 783 Joe Biden and 628 Bernie Sanders. I mean, there's not a huge difference, but it's still like 100 delegates behind. Let's go back to the previous date when people voted for Super Tuesday. If you see right here, see California is still reporting on 94%, Colorado at 89%, and Bernie's won these places. Maine, even though they give it to Joe Biden, is still 98. Well, he won Utah. I see right there, 78% of Utah. Yeah.
I wonder how Texas, a state way bigger than Utah, was able to finish counting before Utah.
Because Joe Biden won. Even though the regular count is not that, maybe
Not that
about,
big,
yeah, it's like about 8. It's not that big. So that's what really happened today, and it sucks for the Bernie Sanders campaign. And we could there's a lot of reasons why the Bernie Sanders campaign failed to gain any momentum after they won Nevada. And we could say that it's because Bernie Sanders refused to attack their opponents since the beginning of the election campaign in 2019.
He didn't. He didn't. This is one of these where I would say he didn't play the game properly after that. Because it's like when you have an advantage, you press the advantage, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you're supposed to do. He didn't do that. He just like I won, see, and then moved on.
Yeah, and I won, and he gave me the same pitch.
South Carolina, he was just like, "See, I'm the greatest. Come on, let's go, everybody on me."
Yeah, but then he kept saying that, "Oh yeah, I will support the nominee if I happen to lose," and obviously he kept saying also, "Oh, Joe Biden is my friend. I don't want him to attack him. I don't want to say anything about him." And he said the same thing about Elizabeth Warren, right? So Elizabeth Warren kept doing the same thing she was doing.
That's the other thing. He needs to pressure her into something. Like the people need to he needs to pressure her to her side or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least try to get her endorsement. Oh, but she's trying to play a game. Well, a game. I don't know what game she played, but it's not a good one. She's trying to play a game for she's trying to play a game for whatever reason. I don't know what she's going for. Oh, but she doesn't want to endorse anyone right now.
Yeah, she's doing the same thing that Andrew Yang did. You saw what he did, right? Today?
What did he do?
He endorsed Joe Biden. Even though he said that he was going to endorse someone who endorsed UBI. But in live TV and CNN, he said, it makes sense that Joe Biden's going to win this thing, so I'm going to go and vote for someone who's going to win against Trump, and I'm endorsing Joe Biden for it, 2020 nomination. I was like, I thought you were going to wait for someone to endorse UBI first. But he just immediately sold out and then live TV. And people are pissed at him.
Yeah, right? It is what it is. It's like that because what's going to happen is this is just what I'm telling people. Like, if you think that the United States is a meritocracy, you're just full of shit. You know it's not. Mm-hmm. We all know it's not. Like, it's no way you have this many people losing and be rich somehow. I don't understand. Because I guarantee you, even author, when Joe Biden loses to Trump, he will lose to Trump.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, all these people are gonna still somehow have jobs that pay millions of dollars a year. I don't
Of
get it.
course.
I don't know how that works in a meritocracy where if you're bad at your job, you get money. I don't know, but I wish I could be really bad at something so I get paid for it.
I mean, that's the system that we live in right now. The system is trying to change, but obviously the people who embrace the system keep pushing back for no change whatsoever, and that's why we have to keep battling. I mean, most people would be depressed right now, more sad, or maybe negative that we don't have to keep moving the ball, but we have to. You have to at
Yeah,
the
and
end there.
the thing that pisses me off the most is that people when this country continues this death slide, right?
Yeah.
People are dying as they are right now. Mass shootings, all this stuff, no health care, wars that never stop, can't put food on the table, going homeless, all this stuff. As soon as everything comes to a head, all these people are gonna come out and say Andrew Yang, Elizabeth Warren, CNN, ABC, they all come out here lying, saying, "Oh, we didn't know. Oh, we made a mistake. We're sorry." Blah blah. And it's just like that's not gonna bring back the dead. That's not gonna fix all those problems that you help exacerbate. Like because it's just like the Ben Shapiro thing. I don't know if it was like a couple of months ago where when Ben Shapiro and like a lot of Republicans they
Hmm.
were calling for a civil war if Trump was impeached and removed from
Yeah,
office.
yeah,
And then like a week later, like I never call for
oh,
violence.
yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
war is like it's just it's one of those things like that's what these people do. Like that's why I say like with 100% certainty, like these people are leeches, 100% leeches. Like they go into the system that people average people build up the system, right?
Uh huh.
They pull the money, they build all these buildings, they make all these support systems, they vote in the right people, they do all this stuff, and then the rich people come out, the aristocracy comes out, they pour in money in the system, corrupt it, leech all the benefits out of it, and then as soon as it hits everything hits the fan and everything is starting to disappear, go away, and it's not as clean and shiny anymore then they all just run away and say, "Oh, it's not our fault. We just worked hard," and then everyone else has to pick up the crumbs again. And you see it happen from country to country for thousands of years.
It's bullshit because it's like it's a cycle that keeps repeating itself over and over and over. And obviously, human beings not being educated enough or not being well informed,
I think it is that human beings are educated enough. It's just
they
that
choose
like
not to.
what
They
they
choose not to.
no, it's just that I think it's hard to have courage when you're standing up against a machine like that because if you think about it, people always conflate the two, right?
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to fight the government, like let's say you want a violent protest, right? You have to deal with the police, right? And you have to deal with the military. That's what people assume, right? And so it's just like it's hard to think about that. It's like, well, the police they have military weapons. The military is the military, and so how can you deal with that? That's like huge, right? It's like in China, same thing. It's like what happens if you talk about something they don't like? Magically you disappear. Like you hear me?
Hmm.
And I think that's what people are afraid of. And but the thing is that you see it. I mean, it's happened. You see it happen in pretty much every Latin American country, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like you see like all these people, a lot of them from the United States. They pour money into the system of those countries. They support overthrowing the governments. They corrupt the system. They do military coups. They pay for military coups. The United States have done it a few times. And then as soon as that new government comes in and wrecks up the joint, they say, "Oh, see, look at that country. Why don't they have their shit together?"
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, they didn't have it together because when they tried to get it together, you made sure they didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like people have to pay for that. That's what sucks. That people pay for that and they just run. It's like the Iraq War, for the last example. It's like the Iraq War. Like, the people, everyone, right in the United States, paid for the lies of the U.S. government, except the people who spread the lies.
Yeah.
Right? They were the only people who didn't pay for the lies that they spread. Right? You had average people lost family members, lost their lives, lost money, lost resources, all kinds of stuff. The only people who didn't were the people who started the lie, people who spread the lie, politicians and people in the media,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like it's just one of those things where it's like, here we go again. Now it's gonna happen again.
Unfortunately, that's the situation we find ourselves in. Especially now that Bernie Sanders has a very really hard chance of even winning. I mean, you could say that he might be lost this election as well. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, Bernie Sanders is not going to give up. He's going to try to fight as much as possible all the way to the end and gather as much as delegates. I mean, we haven't even gone through most of the states anyway.
That's the
Uh,
thing, though. Even if he does get a chunk of delegates, like I said, they're gonna give it to Biden, right? Like if they get like, oh, remember, all they needed was an excuse, right? Like they didn't. It could be the closest race in human primary history, right?
yeah,
It could be like one delegate off. They don't care. It's like any reason to give it to Biden, they're gonna give it to Biden.
yeah, they're going to try to
Uh,
get to him.
for
But
sure.
I
Because now,
mean, I think Bernie Sanders, the only option he has is to do the same thing he did in 2016. And he's going to try to compromise and try to make Biden's campaign better, just like he did with Hillary Clinton. But I think this time his supporters are not gonna have it. I mean, back then people got pissed. Imagine now they're like, nope, bye,
yeah.
bye, them exit. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, I think it's one of those things where it's like they won't care until it's like you have the baby boomers like hit a point where even if they vote, it's not enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Once they see that, then they'll be like, oh yeah, we need to change. We need to get these people. At that point, it might be too late, but who knows?
yeah.
Because like I said, most people don't care clearly.
More likely, but I mean, we care, and a lot of the people who voted for Bernie Sanders care. And we'll keep you guys updated about the. So far we go back to Washington. I know White went back 1%, but it was a 67. But Bernie Sanders winning by 0.1% of Washington. We'll see who wins in that state. If he does, then there's gonna be 2 states for Bernie Sanders out of 4, out of 6. I mean, and he can make his own case. Hopefully, they have debates in the upcoming days.
I
But
think one is what
the
it's right
DNC is trying to not have debates whatsoever.
after.
But we keep reporting to you guys and we keep you guys updated.
But the thing is that even if even if they choose not to have the debates, right?
Yeah.
They have to have the debates versus Trump.
Yeah, but they're trying to save face because I think their tactic is
Oh, but versus Trump, you ain't saving no face. He's gonna destroy you
we'll have.
because he will make fun of him in that thing. He does not care. Like that's the thing. Like you could try to save him against Bernie, but you ain't saving him against Trump.
I mean, yeah, we all know that. That's why a lot of people are saying you're winning with Joe Biden. I mean, even if you're trying to save face right now,
Yeah,
you're not trying to face the inevitable.
yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. If people are just making fun, people are gonna poke at it. People are gonna even Trump already began
Yeah,
doing his
yeah. He's
campaign
already
against him.
assumed.
It was like
Yeah,
he's
he's already assumed that Biden would be
this
selected.
is gonna be just a huge joke from now on. And obviously, hopefully, he goes and debates Bernie Sanders. He will see more about what that's gonna happen, and they're not gonna have an audience in the debate too. So there
Yeah.
you go.